Hey y'all, welcome back to Bake Myths. Today we're making enchiladas. For today's recipe, I'm trying a very basic enchilada recipe. I've never made them before, so I wanted to do kind of like a beginner's recipe that I worked through and tried out. And then if that goes well, maybe in the future I'll move on to making my own sauce or making my own tortillas or something like that. But today we're just going to keep it simple. We're going to make a very basic enchilada recipe that uses a lot of pre-made ingredients, so you can put it together really quickly and have a really good Mexican dish. And welcome back to my stovetop. We are going to start this recipe out by first preparing some rice. I got this quick and easy rice mix that I can prepare in a skillet, so I'm going to prep the rice to put in the enchiladas, and then I'm going to start on some ground beef. So if you haven't guessed already, this recipe is going to be like a red sauce based enchilada with kind of the traditional components of that, which is ground beef, cheese, onions, that kind of thing. So we're going to get started by making some rice. I know that there's much better ways to make very good enchiladas. But I'm going to cut myself a little bit of slack because this is a dish that I do not know how to make, and it's a weeknight, and I want to eat this for dinner, not for a midnight snack, and I wanted to make it an easy way, so oh well. So I'm following the recipe with kind of the order they recommend doing things in. Kind of initial thoughts. I'm not the type that really likes to have to time everything out perfectly when I'm cooking. Like, I don't want to have to be like, okay, so I need to get this done and be running over here and stirring this constantly while stirring the other one constantly, because you only have two hands and it's hard to do that well with both. So I think if I were to start this recipe over again, oh, I need to keep seasoning it. Oops, see, I'm all in a tizzy. I think it would probably be better to like start the ground beef first, because it can kind of chill out while you are finishing up your rice, which is ready to do stuff, by the way. See, this is why you do one thing at a time if you can. Like, sometimes there's easy stuff where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna let the pasta water boil while I make the sauce, you know, and that's a different thing. But if you have like two high maintenance things at the same time, not fun. Okay. I'm gonna turn this down a lot, and we're gonna focus on the rice right now. So, next up on the rice, we need to add water. I'm going to add some extra water since I'm not adding tomatoes to mine. So now we need to bring this up to a boil. I'm a little nervous. This pan might be too shallow, but we'll see. I think it'll be okay. Alright, now back to the ground beef, which is browning so quickly. Wow. So if you didn't catch it when I added it, I just seasoned the ground beef with salt, pepper, garlic, and cumin. I'm going to add a little bit of chili. Not too much, because I don't want these to be way too spicy. I'm always cautious of adding too much heat to a dish. Not that I don't like spicy, I do, but I feel like there's such a fine line between what is a little bit of a kick and what is going to make the dish almost like inedible, because there is a line. you get to the point where it's inedible, then like, it's all over, you know? You can't really enjoy the dish anymore. Even if you're hungry, which is such a bummer to put all this work into it. Okay, rice is boiling, covered it, I reduced the heat. We're gonna let it kind of cook under the lid for about 15 to 20 minutes. My ground beef is almost done too, which is awesome. Oh, it's starting to wrap. Why is it so hard to cut? I'm probably still doing it wrong. I don't know, y'all. I have a way I know how to cut onions. It's an attempt at trying to do it in a way that's not going to make me cry. But your girl is self-taught with most of my cooking, excluding what I've watched my mom do and what I've watched Food Network stars do. Because I was a big fan of Food Network as a kid. So with that in mind, a lot of my cooking methods are a little odd, I feel like. Like I know what to do, and I can make the result pretty good, but sometimes I feel like how I do stuff is maybe not normal, which is fine. I mean, I'm happy with the food I cook. My husband's happy with the food I cook. When I cook for people, they don't complain to my faces, so as long as the outcome is good, I'm not too worried. Oof, I don't want to cry on camera again because of onions. But I'm not too worried about how I get there. With that being said, if you are someone who's trained in cooking, or you just have someone who taught you helpful hints, I would always like to know, because I'm not going to sit over here and pretend that I'm the expert, because, hi, I'm not. I just know what works for me, what has worked for me, what has let me make food that I enjoy, and so I do that. If there's a better way of doing things, I am all ears. Those are actually poor Texans, and for me specifically. Mexican food feels very cozy and Christmassy. I'm half Mexican, so that feels very Christmassy to me. And then Texas, I think in general, like you see a lot of tamales and kind of Mexican dinners happen more at the holidays. So I've thought about doing tamales, but frankly I am not brave enough to try that on my own yet. So we are just doing beginner enchiladas. Alright, so I put a little bit more oil in my cast iron skillet, and we are going to cook some onions until they get soft and a little bit more translucent. It's making me cry again. But I chopped it up kind of like into, gosh, I don't know. Here, I'll show you. Like this. This is about the size I'm going for in the onion. I'm okay with them being a little bit bigger because I want them to kind of play a key part of the filling in the enchiladas. But I don't want them to be so big that they don't mix together well. Check on the rest of our ingredients. Okay, the rice is coming along well. I'll go ahead and add the ground beef back to the pan. Let it mix up with the onions, get friendly. All that good stuff. Cool. So our rice just about ready. Perfect. Okay. Cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add, maybe not all, but maybe like half of the rice mixture to my ground beef and onion mixture, and then I'm going to add enchilada sauce to all of that, mix it together, cook it on low for a little bit to get everything well incorporated, and then I'm going to actually take it out of the pan and put it in a bowl, because that's going to be our filling. And what we're actually going to do is cook our enchiladas in the cast iron skillet in the oven. So that's my plan. For the red sauce, I'm using this sauce, partially because it's the only red enchilada sauce I could find at the grocery store, which is tragic. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to start with about a cup of the enchilada sauce, mix it around, see how that is. If I need to add more, I will, but I'd like to save most of it for drizzling on top. I'm gonna make, I think 6 enchiladas. Depending on how far I think that the sauce can go, I might improvise a little, add a little tomato soup, add some more seasoning, mix it up in there, and then use that all over it. To my husband, if this tastes weird, I am sorry. We're kind of almost done. So we've got our filling, we've got cheese, we've got tortillas. The next step is to fill the tortillas with our filling and cheese, and then you take it, wrap it up, and then place it crease side down in the pan. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna coat the bottom with a little bit of, I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and mix some tomato soup in here. Yeah, it's not even, I might have said sauce. It's not sauce, it's soup. I don't know if that's better or worse. I am sorry to my dad and the next inside of the family. But you know what? If nothing else, I try really hard. I feel like that tastes a little weird now. I'm gonna fix it. Hold on. I think it's gonna be okay. I'm not gonna add any more tomato sauce, or soup rather, but I am going to add some garlic, add some cumin, some salt, and a little bit of pepper. This is honestly a really good picture of what me cooking often looks like. So I decided, instead of trying to fill up that skillet, which is pretty big, and get the bottom of that pretty full of enchilada sauce, we're just gonna use this instead. I think that will probably fit the perfect amount of enchiladas for my husband and I. And then I can hopefully make my enchilada sauce that I've ghettoed go a little further. Yeah. Okay, so So I would say I've used about 3/4 a cup of the enchilada sauce, the ghetto enchilada sauce, on the bottom. And I'm just gonna spread that out. So it's nice and even so my enchiladas can actually be sitting in sauce. It really doesn't taste bad. Maybe I'm just trying to be optimistic. I don't know. I want this to turn out well. This was going so well and I didn't get enough ingredients and now here we are. But honestly, that I think is really like, that's cooking. Like in the real world, if you're actually making food and trying to feed your family or trying to have a good dinner or impress people. By the way, here's how full I'm doing it. I'm trying, so I've got like about 2-ish scoops of meat and a little sprinkle of cheese. And there we go. We are creasing it like this. And we're gonna flip it. Let me see if I can show you all behind all the spices. We're gonna flip it down like that so it's nice and nestled. Cool. I think the sauce tastes good. Maybe I'm weird. But no, I feel like real cooking, when you're not, it's not a Food Network show. It's not, you know, a perfect YouTube video. No shade on any other like cooking YouTubers. I love y'all. You inspire me. Teach me how to be you. But I feel like when you're actually trying to cook for yourself or for your family, a lot of the time it's this. It's, oh, I made a mistake or something's not working out well. How can I fix it and still make something good? So, we're gonna flip this over again. I'm not too heartbroken, honestly. I can squeeze them. Okay. I'm gonna finish up my enchiladas and I will be right back to show you all how they turned out. This is what our enchiladas look like pre-oven. I'm gonna pop them in the oven at 350 for about 20 to 25 minutes. I'm guessing these will probably be closer to like 15 to 20 since I'm making about 4 less than what the recipe calls for. And then I will get back on here and show you all how they turn out. So, I have processed through my anxieties and fears about adding the tomato soup to the sauce while these baked. They look really good and they smell really good, so that's honestly making me feel a lot better. But, yeah, I'm not as worried about it anymore. I believe in myself. I believe this will be good because these look really, really good. So I'm gonna see if I can grab just one. Oh, this is so impressive. Okay, sorry, these are very cheesy and I love that. Okay, that cheese pull looked fantastic from there. Not even upset. It looks the way a good enchilada should. The flour tortilla looks really nice and soft. There's plenty of sauce, which is fantastic because I was worried. So let's give it a try. Okay, I love how full I stuffed them, because even when I got just this tiny little end piece, I still feel like I have plenty of meat and cheese in there. They're good. They're good. I'm happy. They're so good. Wow. I don't know why I was afraid. You add enough cheese and onion to any dish, and it's probably gonna taste good. All that jazz. This is a quick enchilada dish that you can put together and make something really tasty without having to work too hard, which I love. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. I'm probably gonna experiment in the future and actually trying to make a little bit more homemade enchilada recipes and a little bit more elaborate ones, but this is a good classic enchilada recipe that I would honestly recommend, even with my stupid little tomato soup that I had to add in there. So yeah, I count this a success. I'm really happy with it. That does it for this recipe, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you want to try this recipe, I will put the link in the description below. You can go on my blog and figure out what recipe I used to do this and try it for yourself. But I'm really happy with how this turned out. I'm excited to keep doing Bakemas. This has been so fun so far. So I will see you tomorrow in our next video.